While you are worried about what they think, they are worried about what you think. Nobody's really thinking about you. Nobody's really judging you. The only person that was ever judging me was myself. I really have no place to set this up. It's going to have to work. This is going to have to work. Welcome to the Hope Chase. Welcome to the shit show. Hi. Who the hell am I? I'm Angie. I was a junkie for 17 years, from 20 to 40. I made a shit ton of bad decisions. Was a dope fiend and got arrested and went to jail a bunch of times, a bunch of detoxes, hospital stays, almost lost limbs due to infections after infection after infection after infection. Now I'm 5+ years into recovery, and this is my puppy child, India, and here I am. I post videos about my own life experiences because I'm not a big fan of giving advice. You're not going to find me giving you advice on what to do and what not to do because, frankly, you're not going to listen anyways. Hoping that I will inspire you and maybe you'll learn something. So let's get into it. No, I need my coffee. It's morning time here and it's fucking hot. Welcome to shit show. So I don't know who needs to hear this. You're not that important. You're not as special or as unique as you think you are. Hate to break it to you, you're not. You know what I was thinking the other day? It kind of dawned on me that throughout my entire fucking addiction, now I don't know if you've had the same experience. I don't know. But while I was in active addiction, I don't remember caring that much about what other people thought of me. I don't remember really prioritizing other people's views of me. I remember, I had fake confidence. It looked like I was confident, right? It looked like I was confident from the outside. It was all fake. I was like a master manipulator at putting on a show for everybody, making everybody think that everything was fine. Actually, you know what? I did it more so for me to convince myself that everything was fine, when in reality I was dying. And I don't remember really beginning to care or think about what other people thought of me until after my addiction, until I stopped using. I was a junkie from 23 to 40, right? And when I turned 40, my dad had just died. And then 3 months after that, my mom died. So both of my parents died within 3 months. Both of my parents died within 3 months of each other at the end of 2019. That pain brought me to my moment of clarity where I finally chose to change and put myself first and learn how to prioritize myself. And I remember it was during this time when I was trying to grieve my parents and I was so utterly miserable. The last day I used heroin was November 9th, 2019. My dad died September 3rd, 2019. My mom died December 2nd, 2019. So I had and then quarantine hit like 2 months later. So I had a whole lot of shit going on. I remember the moment I realized this lesson, that nobody really gives a shit. I'm not that important. I'm not as unique and special as I think I am, and nobody really cares. That was the lesson. I was trying to grieve, not knowing if I was doing it correctly, feeling like my entire world was really fucking crumbling down around me. I lost every single thing that I've ever had in my entire life. All my possessions, all my security, my safety, my financial security, any support I had, poof, was gone. It seemingly in an instant. During my dope addiction, it's not a really social drug, right? Dope is not something you do with friends. It's not like Coke or booze where you're like, surrounded by people. During all those years, like I never had friends, but I never socialized. I never talked to people. I was more so just on my own. The only people I talked to were my dad and my dope dealer on a daily basis. That's it. Cut to 2019. At that time, I was selling drugs. I was out every night. I was constantly surrounded by people. I was constantly in a social type of environment. But it was during this time, after my parents died and during quarantine and trying to grieve and freshly clean off of dope, not one person gave a shit about what I was going through. It was like out of sight, out of mind. I remember being so kind of flabbergasted and taken aback by the fact that nobody cared. I was like, wait a minute, you mean to tell me that I'm like surrounded by people who are calling me their friends who say they're my friends, but nobody can even reach out to see if I'm doing okay. Nobody can check in. People knew what I was going through. Everybody has their own shit going on. Nobody's thinking about me. People generally only think of themselves. And I mean, it's kind of sad to say and a harsh truth to realize, but the sooner you realize this, the easier it will be to not give a shit about what anybody else thinks. Because you know what? How often do I go to the store, let's say, and I see someone wearing like a really ugly pair of shoes? I mean, in my opinion, I'd be like, oh, those are really ugly shoes. And I'll think about that for a second and be like, oh, and then I'll go on with my day. I don't spend the day or even more than 30 seconds thinking about that person who had the ugly shoes. It doesn't make or break my day that somebody has ugly shoes on, or if somebody's, has a bad haircut. Everything is subjective. Everything has perspective. Everybody thinks of things differently. Because the whole time I was trying to grieve my parents and I was suicidal and depressed and I couldn't leave my house out of sheer depression. I couldn't leave my house out of sheer anxiety. I was breaking. So I was like, where are all these people who say that they're my friends? Why is nobody messaging me? Why is nobody asking me if I'm okay? Why is nobody realizing that they haven't seen me in a long time and just reaching out and being like, hey, like I haven't seen you in a few days, which was odd. Like, where are you? How are you? How have you been? What's going on? Nothing. And I remember feeling like weird about even thinking this because, like I said, for 20 years of my active addiction, I never really cared or even thought about what other people were thinking. I didn't need anybody else. During my addiction, I was so consumed with myself and my own misery that I wasn't thinking about anybody else but myself. So if I was like that, who the fuck am I to think that anybody else is different? People have their own shit. People are really only thinking about themselves. While you are worried about what they think, they are worried about what you think. Nobody's really thinking about you. Nobody's really judging you. The only person that was ever judging me was myself. For what? During that time when I was grieving and I was coming off dope and all the things, my life was a fucking disaster. I went bald. I lost all my hair, completely down to my fucking scalp, bald. From ear to ear, and then whatever was left on the top was completely broken off. Like, couldn't even fit into a ponytail. It was devastating. I was traumatized. It was devastating. I didn't recognize myself in the mirror. I didn't know who she was. I didn't know myself anymore. It was fucking traumatizing. That was during quarantine, thank God, because I didn't have to leave my house. I was so embarrassed and mortified and tried to hide it. And I couldn't even get extensions if I tried. There was nothing to clip the hair to. Thank God there wasn't anything because that allowed me time to like take care of my hair and everything else. I was so lucky that it didn't completely all fall out because it was on its way. It didn't even feel like hair. It literally felt like hay because I wasn't taking care of myself. I wasn't eating, sleeping. I wasn't showering. I wasn't washing my hair. That's how utterly broken I was. When it did start to grow in during the end of quarantine, I got some cheap extensions off of Amazon because I was so mortified and embarrassed. I didn't tell anybody. I told one person about the fact that I was balding. And now looking back, it's like I had no control over it. But still, I'm thinking that everybody cares. So I got these hair extensions and I was wearing these clip-in hair extensions for a long fucking time while I could. Every single time I left my house, I was wearing these extensions. I even wore them to the beach. I wore them on 150-degree days. I was so concerned about what other people would think when they found out that I was bald. When the extensions got worn out and I couldn't wear them anymore because it took about a year. I wore them literally every day, all day long. And it got to a point where they were broken. The clips were broken. The hair was a mess, ratty. It was disgusting. The extensions were probably the length of my hair now. Thank God my hair grew back. I am so grateful my hair grew back. But anyways, the hair extensions were probably about this length, right? But my actual hair was like chin length, right? So that's a lot of hair. That's a big difference. So I remember the first night I showed my face without the extensions in front of people. I literally was so nervous. I psyched myself up. I was like, okay, Angie, you know what? It's fine. It's fine. Everything's going to be fine. We're going to be fine. I was like, do I say something? Do I point it out? Do I mention it? Do I acknowledge it? What do I do? Do I ignore it? Do I just pretend like my hair didn't just change like this in an instant? The moment this lesson was cemented into my brain was the first night I went out without these hair extensions. Wouldn't you know, I fucking went out and I was surrounded by all these people who had been around me for the past year and a half and were used to seeing me with the extensions in. And wouldn't you know that not one fucking person noticed? Or if they did, not one person said a fucking word about it. Not one person said, oh my God, your hair is so short. Oh my God, what happened? Oh my God, where'd your hair go? Not one person fucking noticed. It was in that moment that I fucking realized, wow, none of these people give a shit. Everybody is so self-consumed. Everybody is so worried about themselves and so stuck in their own shit. Now, I'm somebody who notices shit, right? So I was so surprised by this because I notice when somebody gets a trim in their hair. I notice if somebody's wearing a new shirt. I notice if somebody has new sunglasses on. I will say, oh, I like that. Oh, I like that. Oh, I like your haircut. Oh, I like your new tank top. Oh, I like your sunglasses. I notice shit. So I was so like, wait a minute. You mean to tell me that I stressed out about this? I worried about this. I literally didn't leave my house over this. I literally lost sleep over this. My life was revolving around the fact that I went bald and so nervous over people finding out, only to realize that nobody even fucking cared and nobody even fucking noticed and nobody even fucking realized. Nobody cared enough to even say anything. I was like, so take it from me. If thinking about what other people are thinking of you, or if thinking about other people's reactions to anything that you're doing is keeping you from doing anything, please just stop. Just do it. Just do whatever the fuck you want to do, because trust me, nobody fucking cares. Whatever you're going through, and I'm sorry to say, but you're not that special. Okay. I don't know what I thought. Did I think that what I was going through was so actually important and so big? I mean, to me, it was. Obviously, it's my life. Did I really think that me being bald was going to alter someone else's life? If somebody even did realize, it's not going to make or break their day. They're not going to go on for the next 24 hours or weeks or months down the line thinking about the fact that I was fucking bald. Nobody cares what you think they care about. I promise you. I promise you. It took me over 40 years to realize this. I used to be the type of person who would stand in front of the mirror and fix one tiny piece of hair for 2 hours, trying to get everything perfect. Now, mind you, I'm a Virgo, I'm a perfectionist. So, I mean, that there's that. But to now look back on how much time and energy I wasted over anxiety, worry, thinking that other people are going to care about something that is happening to me or something that I'm going through or something that's affecting me is just wild. It's just wasted fucking energy. All of that energy that I wasted. And I hope that it doesn't take you something as traumatic to realize this lesson. Believe me when I say that nobody fucking cares. And if you think that whatever it is that you're going through, if you think that you're so special, you're not. You're not that important. I hate to break it to you, but whatever you're going through, I guarantee someone else out there is going through the same thing. Whatever you're going through, I guarantee you that it's not making or breaking anyone else's day, week, or month. They're not going on for hours and days or weeks thinking about what you're doing. So just do you. Be you. Stop hiding, because everybody is really only thinking about themselves. The sooner you realize that, the sooner you will have the freedom to do what you want without being debilitatingly scared of doing things. Fear is made up. It's a false entity. It's something that our brain makes up. Stop believing all and everything that you're thinking, because I promise you it's not true. So just be you. And I know it's so fucking cliche. It's such a cliche thing to say, and I'm sorry. But you know what? Cliches are cliches for a reason, because there's got to be some truth to it, right? If nobody has told you lately, I am so fucking proud of you. I am so proud of you just for existing. Just for existing. Because these days it's hard to just exist. I don't have any regrets. I don't wish I could turn back time for anything. I'm just grateful that I finally learned that lesson. And I hope that from my story and my life experiences, you can learn something for yourself, so that maybe you can save yourself a little time. Maybe you can save yourself a little anxiety. Maybe you can start doing you. Maybe you can start being you, authentically you, a little bit sooner because of something that I had to say. So with that, I love you so fucking much. Thank you so much for being here. I'm gonna finish my fucking coffee. My baby's sleeping on the bed. She's so fucking cute. Let me show you. Don't judge my mess of a. Look at how cute she. Oh Jesus! Hello, mamas. Okay. Don't forget to like and subscribe and do all the fucking shit that other YouTube people say, because your girl's trying to get monetized on here. Your girl needs to get paid. Okay. All right. I love you so much. Until next time. Trying so hard to find the perfect place so I can do the correct YouTube thing sideways, but literally I have no place to put my phone. I don't know. I don't know, Mama. I don't know what to do. I figure instead of just me sitting here and and talking at you, I could try to get ready while I'm, I don't know what all the cool kids are doing these days. So with that, really all I have to say.